mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Hello everybody, this aquarium has been up for about a month now and I've had a ton of algae problems with it. Just a horrible time getting it fixed, but it's finally, I think, kind of stabilizing, so I'm going to show you the process I've been through to make sure this tank stays okay. So this tank had issues right from the start, starting with diatom algae. Diatoms actually aren't algae, but they're a microorganism, and they typically exist when you have high silicates. And in this case, the high silicates is from the sand path, most likely, and then maybe hard water. And it appears as kind of this brown algae that coats the leaves, and all the leaves were coated with it. Now they're barely covered at all, so really got that down, which is great. And the way I've been dealing with it is just taking my toothbrush and finding patches where there's some brown algae and scrubbing it off pretty much every day, and then I siphon it up so it can't spread. And that's been working really well. As the plants establish themselves, they can fight off the algae better. And then I've also had green hair algae, which I don't see any in the tank right now, thankfully, but if you look at these clips, you can see the green hair algae coming off the rocks, got the bubbles on it. It's nasty. The whole tank was covered in it. I was scrubbing it every single day. So what I've done to remove that is I set the lights to a 4-hour timer instead of an 8-hour timer, and I put a giant cardboard box over it whenever the lights aren't on, which is kind of ugly, but this room gets a ton of natural light, and I think that was giving the algae too much nutrients. Along with those two things, to get your algae under control, you have to do constant maintenance, because if there's even a little bit of algae, it can come back. So I would scrub the tank pretty much every day to try and get the algae out. Now I'm up to every other day, thankfully, but let me show you my process for that.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
This is how bright my room is at 8 a.m. with the shades down and no lights on in the room. So this is the kind of ambient light I get, and that is why I have to put a box on top of the tank. Here's it the next day. As you can see, I think it's looking great. Yep, plants are going in, fish are happy, no algae. And one last thing is make sure not to overfeed your fish, because that will also create excessive nutrients, which causes algae. Okay, see you guys.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery.